Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome from all over the world in different time zones. All these people came to listen to us, Craig.
I love that.
All right. So I'm Alina Frank, and I'm here with.
Craig Weiner.
So thanks again for joining us and making an effort to show up to this webinar. We are really excited about what we are going to be offering tonight. And the topic is 3 guaranteed paths to success in the EFT world. And you're going to get here the real down and dirty, honest to goodness truth about this profession from the business side. Yeah, we plan on laying it all out there.
All out there in the open.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay.
All
right. So those of you that know us or you know of our work and through a variety of ways, you can probably attest that we really don't hold back from speaking our truth.
Really?
Yeah, really. We don't really shy away from controversies either.
Yeah,
so
we don't.
We kind of say the way we see it. As long as it's in alignment with our mission to keep it authentic, to keep it real. And, we both came to EFT because we were living our own lives that weren't exactly in that alignment for many years. We weren't living really in alignment with our bigger purpose, and that took its toll. It was exhausting. And really, we just plain refused to return to that kind of low energy, out of alignment, life force draining path. So, we, if you don't know, we're EFT trainers for several organizations. We've been running the EFT Marketing and Business Academy for 6 seasons now.
I know. I can't believe it.
It's just flown.
Yeah.
I know. Time flies. In our private practices, I focus on helping heart-centered entrepreneurs overcome the fear of being seen. Ooh. And really my focus, and actually Alina's focus, well, you've been focusing on assisting female women healing arts practitioners to make more money at work by clearing up the romantic relationship baggage that gets in the way of really succeeding in business.
Yeah, yep. And that is really the focus of our one-to-one work, but we started the EFT MBA, the Marketing and Business Academy for EFT coaches, because we really saw how skilled EFT practitioners that we were training and certifying were really having a hard time making it.
Yeah, that's hard to watch.
I know, it really is. So especially because these students were really good. I mean, we just knew that they were good at EFT, but then we'd hear back from them years later and they hadn't really left their day jobs, or they were sinking further and further into like a kind of despair over not getting enough clients. Yeah. So we really believe that learning skills is important when you are learning EFT and to be effective. And there are skills that you can learn to build your business as well. And so we took the best of what we had learned and that we had test driven ourselves and really began formally offering these lessons through our academy.
Now, these lessons sometimes were, you could call failures, right? There were mistakes.
Oh,
they were
sure.
Ways we spent money and time and energy that didn't really go anywhere.
For sure.
And there are other ways that went far.
Yeah.
So we really bring both. We don't hide anything back. So in the coaching world, there's a saying that the bigger the why, the easier the how. So let's briefly touch on the big why of your business making it.
Why would you want to make it?
Yeah. I mean, it may seem obvious, but I think that sometimes we need to step back and look at the why.
And the fuel, right? The fuel that drives the success.
Right.
Is the big why.
Yep. So you probably heard lots of business coaches in our field tell you about the money they make or the allure of some bright, shiny object or purchase or whatever. But, bright, shiny objects are fine. They really are. I don't have any judgment about those or something great that they created in their lives. That's totally fine. But those things, the stuff, isn't a big enough why, in our opinion, to really supercharge your ability to make it in this business. So the biggest why that we see with EFT coaches is something that nobody really talks about openly. And it's a concept that you really might not have even heard of. And it's a sense of financial integrity.
Mm-hmm. Financial integrity. So, I want to break this down and just it's not that difficult to understand. And once you hear it, you'll say, oh, yeah, totally get it. So, financial integrity is really like a holistic approach to your relationship with money. And it has you looking at your values and says, you can ask yourself, how is what I earn and save and spend in alignment with my highest ideals and my values? And if you're a full-time EFT coach, then you can really tick off that box for being in alignment with your values in terms of how you earn a living, because it's awesome. We're helping people transform their lives. But many of you are not doing this full time, and you're out there doing, working the job. That you will find out is out of alignment. Mm-hmm. And then there's also, in terms of debt or living paycheck to paycheck, as people say, then you're really you might be out of financial integrity as well. So the question here is, how congruent are you? How good do you feel about yourself if you tell your clients or potential clients that you can live a life of freedom or you can realize all your dreams when you yourself are out of integrity financially? You don't have that piece of financial freedom.
That's a big ouch. And that's a big one that I see with coaches that are scared of being seen because somehow they're scared about that their clients or somebody out there is going to say, you're not walking that same talk. I don't see you driving a Mercedes. I don't see you. And somehow their fear of being perceived as not being able to do what they're hoping their clients do is often a big source of tappable material.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah. So there's also the responsibility that you have as a healer. I mean, that's what we are, really, in essence, is we're healers. And you have a responsibility as a healer to take care of yourself and continue to grow and expand. And that very often requires money. So taking care of yourself, we know as EFT practitioners, means taking care of your emotional needs, your psychological well-being, and that will include hiring other coaches and other healers. And as a healing arts practitioner, you already know how important it is to take care of yourself physically, but the health of your finances is often left out as an important, a critical aspect of well-being, your financial well-being. So bottom line, you want to succeed because you're conscious, because you're evolved, and any part of you that's not walking it from that place is in conflict, sometimes to the depths of your very soul, and the financial part is included. So if you are a person who doesn't take care at all about integrity, financial or otherwise, then my guess is you're not really listening to this webinar anyway, because all the EFT coaches that I know really do value integrity.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that gives a kind of the big tent picture. Let's go ahead and let's break it down. So we got a lot to cover in a short period of time together. So let's just get to it. The idea for this webinar, where did it come from? It was really spontaneous.
Yeah, it was kind of funny that it came up at the same time.
It was. So in a very short period of time, we were teaching on different parts of the United States, on different coasts, and we had several different tapping students come up to us in separate trainings and ask us really kind of on the sly. It's like, can I really make it in this business? Can I really make a living at it?
Yeah.
Can I be successful? Can I quit my day job and really do this?
Right.
And, they were from different professional backgrounds. They had different goals with regard to their certification and all of that. But they all were pointing out the same thing that they had seen in the EFT landscape with their experiences.
Right.
And so they had seen, number one, the question really that they were alluding to is really what I want to say is, what is that secret tapping success club that I need to get into?
Secret club. You need a secret handshake.
The secret handshake EFT success club. Because you guys seem to be in that club, and I want to know how do I pay the membership to get into that club? Right? How do I get in? I know there's got to be one.
It was funny. I mean, we were laughing when we were asked that.
It was. I can remember the moment. And it was very sweet, but I get what they were saying.
Oh, yeah.
So that was one that we heard more than once. Another idea was, you guys make money at this, obviously. So, and there seemed to be, from like what I can tell through all the different ways that we're like kind of checking people out and what's happening in the EFT scene, there seemed to be at least a few other top practitioners out there who appear to be making good money in six figures at this. But when I ask around, when I go to other trainings and I ask how other average practitioners are doing, they aren't making it. What gives with that?
Yeah.
Right? So that was another one we heard. Another one that we heard more than once is there some sort of guaranteed path I can just pay for and take, right? Can I just like put my money down and say that this way is the guaranteed way to really make it?
I want a guarantee.
I want a guarantee. I don't want to waste my time or my energy unless there's some kind of guaranteed path. And that really was the spark between for the title of the talk. The guaranteed paths for EFT success, right?
Yeah.
And
all right, so a drum roll, please.
Yeah, because it just like struck us like there's this collective idea, like somewhere, maybe there's this morphic field that's starting to create, ask this question about what's the guarantee, what is the way?
Right.
I want to know the way to have a successful EFT business.
So let's talk about what guaranteed, it's in quotation marks here for a reason.
Okay. So guaranteed. Well, there's no guarantee. The sun's coming up tomorrow. There's no guarantee, folks. There's no guarantee, okay, of anything, right?
Right.
So that, we have faith, we have trust. The sun's going to come up the next day, but you know what? Someday it might not. So that being said, we decided to play with the word guarantee, and because it's what we kept hearing about. But really what we wanted to look at is what are the best likelihood, the best paths.
Proven paths. Yeah.
Paths that people are taking that move them towards success.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Some people.
All right. So now drum roll. Okay. All right. So here we go. Guaranteed path number 1. And we are calling this the Top Tier Club. So, yes, shockingly enough, there are several top tier by invitation only clubs in a sense. So, you pay a nice sum of money just to belong to such a group. And
nice is nice.
A nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Hefty.
Yeah. Hefty.
Yeah. Just to belong, you need to pay that price of admission into such a group, and in which turn you get access to other top tier people. So
it's all about who you know.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's something to be said for that. So I want to ask, is this really a guaranteed path? Well, we think that being in front of these players, right, will give you a leg up. It can propel you into the 7-figure club. But we see that the problem is that you have to have reached a certain level of success before you even get that elusive, yes, it is very elusive, invite to begin with. And the entrance fee just to belong, let alone the money to participate in these events, is pretty steep. So we'll also add to this category something called sponsored table events, which you can ask me about, but we don't have enough time in this webinar to cover all of that. So what we want to say about this path is really it's not an option for the vast majority of practitioners at the entry level. And unfortunately, is it guaranteed? No, I've had a number of clients who took this path only to be in the hole, $30,000 or more in the end. So I really don't see this as a real guaranteed path.
So guaranteed path number 1 is not fully money back guaranteed.
Oh, certainly not.
Okay.
Certainly not. But are there people that are doing really well? They've gotten to 7 figures belonging to these? Absolutely.
Absolutely. Because, you start to look at any of the very wealthy, very successful business people, who they hang out with matters.
Right.
It does. It's not only inspiring, uplifting, it puts your focus in a certain level of success mindset.
Yeah.
You have access to opportunities you wouldn't have otherwise.
Sure.
So for those that can go there.
Yeah. Or who want to.
And who want to.
Like we don't want to.
At this point.
We don't. Yeah. We just don't feel like the need to, and we're doing quite well. So it's not our thing.
So it's a path.
It is a path.
But let's go down to some other paths that are more accessible.
All right.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah. So let's go to quote unquote guaranteed path number 2. We're going to call this the internet marketing guru path.
The internet marketing guru.
Okay. All right. So
and we kind of played around with this.
we've met a few.
We definitely have met a few.
And we've been around a few, and we've learned from them.
Yeah.
Right? I've definitely learned. Right?
Absolutely. Some of it we implement in our course.
Mm-hmm. If you're a programmer, you love running split tests, you know how to build out single-page sites for conversion, the idea of figuring out SEO algorithms is just something that just titillates you and it sends you into states of bliss, and you just get excited just thinking about it. Then...
I just remembered like the skit from Saturday Night Live, the guy at the tech guy in the company that would make everybody feel like 2 inches tall because they'd ask about some problem with their computer, and they'd answer with all this technical jargon, and their eyes would just glaze over like, I'm sorry, I feel so stupid.
Yeah, we've in the MBA program, I would have to say a hefty percentage have a little bit of that eye glazing over when we start talking about split tests, SEO. Yeah, I see that a lot.
Well, we don't go into it.
Not into that depth, especially not early, because that'll cause, I think, like unconsciousness, right?
Yeah.
Passing out. So
yes.
The thing that really is important is that if you want to go that path and it really is something that you've got training and excitement for, then go for it. But the thing is, for most people that we've worked with and most students, is that we know we've known several people that have joined a program to figure this out. They look at this is the way to go, and they were really smart people. And
some people that wanted to do the internet marketing path actually were techies who just said, okay, so I've worked for companies in the tech department or for other people. Now I want to do it for myself.
Yep.
In the EFT business.
Right. So they're thinking, okay, how hard can this be?
Right.
Done this in another world, right?
Yeah.
I worked for Microsoft.
Oh, yeah.
I did it whatever for a startup.
Yeah.
I'll just follow the program. But in the end, they ended up being, and I know of several, tens of thousands of dollars in debt because of their lack of ability to really implement in the EFT world. So the allure of this path is simple. You reach the masses, you reach large numbers of people. You don't have to worry about establishing a single client after client kind of business. And you just go for the big bucks, the high-end packages right off the bat, the affiliate programs, build out your online program, get tons of members with residual income, and you are successful.
Sometimes. So this is a very hard path for mere mortals. I'll put myself in that camp. I couldn't do that.
Yeah. And you know what? In this one, there are so many blocks that I have seen.
Yeah.
Technology blocks, fear blocks, being able to screw things up in the technology part. Or then they start to hit tech overwhelm, or they, for example, put everything in their energy and time into a launch.
Yeah.
And it doesn't go the way that they expected. And they just hit that wall of despair and disappointment of, oh my God, what am I doing?
Right.
And then they just falter for a period of time until they build their strength back up to start again.
Yeah.
So that path is another one that a few are able to do well.
Yeah.
But not most and not many that I've seen over the time. The percentage is small. Okay. Please tell me there's a third path that is a little bit more optimistic than the first two.
There is a third path. Isn't that like a spiritual teaching, the third path, the third way? That is an Enneagram teaching anyway. So, the guaranteed third path, okay? Now, I want to say that that this requires work. Yes, it does. It was funny. We just got a testimonial from an EFT MBA grad the other day, and they said something like, I wanted you guys to know that immediately I made a 33% increase in my business just as a result of being in the MBA. And she said, and I wasn't even trying. So, I mean, those things happen, and it's great when they do, but we want as close to a guarantee as we can give you. And so what we do is we kind of cover all the bases. So we... And, sometimes just investing in yourself and focusing in on a program or, really committing yourself to doing the inner and outer work, which is the third path. It really is that saying about what you focus on grows naturally.
Mm-hmm. I just got to say, one of our students just recently jumped in and made a commitment. And within the next week, had a collaboration,
Yeah,
the potential for a
that's
new
right.
office space,
I
a
know.
person that was fitting every need for what they were looking for in kind of a mentor business partner. I
Right.
mean, it was ridiculous, and it happened, I think it was in days
Yeah,
of
because
making that
you're
commitment.
making the commitment.
Right?
Right.
It changes the world when you do.
So, there is the truism that if you've always done what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always gotten. And so we know that you've got to change it up from what you're doing. And one of the closest guarantees to a business is covering all the bases, like I said, by doing some inner work and some outer work. So notice how I didn't say you have to do it all. It's some. And the strategy of doing it all and covering all bases is not humanly possible. And really, that strategy will lead to frustration and overwhelm. And really, that's not the energy that you want when you are attracting abundance. Anyway, so let's break that down.
Okay. Let's get even more specific. Good. So, inner game. Okay. So you're going to be getting a handout just by participating in this webinar, which will have a list of all the negative, not all, a number of negative limiting beliefs that we're going to be tapping on, right? So we're going to do a tapping exercise, because of course we would.
Yeah.
Right? And this is hopefully going to help illuminate some of the limiting business beliefs that might be stopping or halting or slowing you down. Okay? So if you have these running on a subconscious level, you're going to be limiting your ability to succeed in this business and attract success. Okay? So we want you to repeat these aloud after us while tapping on any point as a way to tap into what you're really feeling about it. It's the best way to bring about any hidden or, hidden resistance and bring it to the surface.
Yeah.
Yeah?
All
So,
right.
you ready?
Yes. So again, we are tapping to tune in. There's two types of tapping. There's tapping to tune in. There's tapping to clear. So right now we're tapping to tune in and to really get clarity about what it is that may be holding us back. So you can tap on any point. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Okay. So Craig, if you follow me along.
I will.
Okay. I'm not good enough.
Wow, you're just starting right with that one, aren't you? All right. I'm not good enough.
I can't get anything right.
I just can't get anything right.
I'm a failure at everything I try.
I'm such a failure at everything I try.
I don't measure up to others.
I do not measure up to others.
I have to do it alone.
I do. I have to do it myself. I have to do it alone.
I'm bound to be rejected.
I am bound to be rejected.
I'm uninteresting.
I'm uninteresting.
I have to do everything perfectly.
I have to do everything perfectly.
It's not okay to ask for help.
It's not okay to ask for help.
If I don't do it, no one will.
If I don't do it, nobody will.
I'm responsible for everyone.
I'm responsible for everyone.
I can't trust other people.
I can't trust other people.
People are untrustworthy.
People are untrustworthy.
I shouldn't spend time taking care of myself.
I shouldn't spend time taking care of myself.
I have to help everyone.
I have to help everyone.
I'm only worthwhile if I'm helping others.
I'm only worthwhile when I'm helping others.
I can't achieve success.
I can't achieve success.
I can't handle problems.
I can't handle problems.
Other people will manipulate and control me.
Other people will manipulate, try to control me.
People have no right to criticize me.
People have no right to criticize me.
People just don't get me.
People don't get me.
If I don't excel, I'll just end up ordinary.
If I don't excel, I'll just end up ordinary.
I can't feel safe being seen.
I can't feel safe being seen.
Okay, good. So you'll get a handout with these, and we really want you to dig deeper. This is only really the starting place. To be more effective with this, we want you to get specific in regards to how this shows up in your business, in relationship to your money, and also to connect the dots with specific events, because we know that really that's the way to drill down and get very clear about why this is going on for you. So, yeah, it's a good place to start.
Yep, it is. So now we're going to go ahead and we are going to move to the outer game, right? Notice which one we did first. Most importantly, we worked on the inner game, but there's an important place for the outer game. And you're going to get in that handout, you're getting a checklist of outer skill sets that you can look over, and so that you can assess how well you're getting yourself out there and getting your business out there and your practice out there for potential clients, right? So we're going to go over some of the most important things as a just starting place that we go over in the MBA program that are critical to success and for helping you to get clarity. So the first question that's going to come up, do you have a clear niche? This is a critical starting place. If you don't have a focus for who you want to work with and how to target your work, what you're doing, who you're working with in the world, you are not going to stand out. This is such an important place. It's a foundation for the MBA program. Can you articulate your elevator speech? Can you, in a succinct way, when somebody asks you, what do you do? Can you quickly and easily describe what you do with regard to your niche? That's really important because that's going to happen. Is your message clear in your marketing materials with regard to your niche and your focus and what you do and who you help and what you're doing? Okay. Here's a great tip. Do you have an ideal client? Writing up a little story about who your ideal client is that you tailor your marketing materials to. How old are they? Maybe what gender? Where do they live? What is their level of education? Who knows? Whatever those things are, that when you actually create kind of a little story about your ideal client, very, very important. Okay. Does your branding reflect this information of your clarity of your niche and your message? Okay. So those are some really important keys. Now, here's some other questions to ask yourself. Do you market yourself on some regular basis? And I'm not going to judge how regular that is, but is there a regularity and a consistency to your getting yourself out there and marketing yourself? Have you created any videos? People want to purchase from people they trust. And one way that people help to engage and have trust is either they've met you personally or through videos is another way that can be very useful. Do you write articles or blogs at least once a month so that your work continues to get out there to the world? Have you spoken live in person about your message? Have you reached out to those in your community who you can align with, especially if it's in regard to your niche? Have you connected with possible joint venture partners in person or online? And this is an important one, just wrote an article on this if you haven't read it. It's on our website. Do you know the laws and regulations for marketing your EFT business? This is really important. You want longevity in this business and you want to make sure that you stay within the guidelines. So all of these questions are just ways to start looking at the outer aspect. And again, this is just a beginning, but there's some important ones there. So
yeah, so this has been great, and I want to say, looking over the inner and the outer, when we are working one-on-one with either EFT MBA students or with our clients, most of them happen to be EFT coaches, what we find it is usually a combination of the inner and the outer that's holding them back.
Almost always.
Yeah.
So we want to thank you for joining us. I think you got a sense of our message, of the work we do in this 12-month MBA program, because we cover this. We always begin with niche and we move into inner issues, and we're always using tapping to help to get over those inner issues that block us from being able to put ourselves out there and create a video and give a public talk and use technology to create a
and
teleclass.
finding which one of these that you really like and
Yeah.
can do on a consistent basis, because
Yes.
we said you don't have to do it all.
No, you certainly don't.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'd love for you to join us, or if you want to find out more, you can just contact us. You can go to www.EFTMBA for the EFT Marketing and Business Academy. We're taking applications for the next course, and we'd love to hear more from you and your ideas and thoughts about how you enjoyed this class. So
Yeah.
I hope it really that there was at least one jewel in there for you.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks so
Thank
much for
you.
joining us tonight.